Let's get started!
Clever, comrade. What are you doing?
Just chilling and waiting for chapter 377 to drop.
Oh, but there is one thing you might be interested to know.
Let me guess. There's no chapter this week.
Yup.
And I don't have a script for an alternative video yet.
Yup.
That is where you are wrong. Let's begin. Okay, here we go. The last upload of the year. The final video of 2022. And the end of this YouTube channel. Okay, that last part was a joke. But seriously, now that we are in the final hours of the year, let's take a break from the rants for a bit. I mean, the year's almost ending. Why ramp up the negativity when we could just goof around instead? And speaking of goofing around, for this video we are just gonna look at the silliest segment of the war arc. Big Boy's Journey. Or is it Big Boy's Travels? Big Boy's Adventure? No, seriously, what do you call this part of the war arc? Anyways, we are just gonna poke fun at the silly stuff that happened in this segment. Absolutely no ranting. Totally no ranting. This video has 0% rants. Okay, let's start. Big Boy's on the run. He then fell on a pit. The UA kids nearby immediately started trying to open his mouth so they can shove in some fancy blue pills to hopefully put him to sleep. Anyways, while this is all going down, a small group consisting of 5 students tried to attack the League of Losers, but 2 are easily taken care of, but not these 3. The UA traitor, the discriminated nobody, and Macleod, the tailman. You'd think these 3 would kick some serious ass, especially Macleod, the tailman. But no. The scene just cut away from them, and they are suddenly back on the ground a few minutes later without accomplishing anything. Apparently these 3 seeing MHA's greatest ship getting injured is enough to get them to back off and retreat. This little tidbit showed us one thing, and that is these 3 are massive fans of this ship.
SpongeBob, how long you gonna stay in your little fantasy world?
Moving on. About Big Boy blowing away the bundles of blue bottles. Wouldn't this mean there's now these highly concentrated sleeping chemicals spilled all over the ground? Which would then seep into the soil and contaminate the nearest water sources? What happens if animals, people, and animals who think they are people, drink from them? Would they fall asleep, get constipated, or get diarrhea?
Dog is dead.
Shoot, I say we cook that right up.
Continuing the silliness. Let's skip to the scene where heroes eventually got on Big Boy. As well as Big Thought jumping in and slamming down. But wait. But what about the League of Losers? Aren't they on Big Boy's right shoulder? Also, isn't Big Boy's back full of pointy rocks?
Awkward.
Speaking of awkward. What's happening at the back anyway? Isn't there a swarm of PLF soldiers back there alongside some heroes? Shouldn't there be a huge battle going on because Big Boy is currently stopped? Why is everything so quiet at the back? There's no focus back there, nor a single projectile fired off just to show there's fighting going on. Just nothing. Why is there no fighting at the back? What happened? All Big Boy ever did is get stuck and bend over. Are they all stunned by Big Boy's butt? Is Big Boy's ass even that stunning? Let's see. I don't know about you, but this just looks like a regular ass to me. But apparently by MHA standards this is considered as magnificent. Well, to be fair, that is an enormous amount of cake. Now let's move on to some other silly scenes. Like this one. Here is an epic throwing moment, followed closely by another epic throwing moment. There's whole flashbacks and hopes and dreams and heroics and And then a few minutes later a literal flying character showed up, who can just do the entire throwing thing far easier. Making the earlier 2 attempts awkward, silly, and totally not epic. Meanwhile, this person can also easily throw bottles. In fact, she alone can already shove in the sedatives earlier without needing the whole opening the mouth thing. since Big Boy's mouth is already permanently open due to his massive underbite anyways. So why didn't she do the things I just said? I dunno. Okay, now let's move on to the silliest thing in the entire Big Boy tour of Japan, if not the entire war arc itself. The villain parade. Now you might be wondering, what parade am I talking about? Okay, this is gonna be a wild ride. So buckle up. Here we go. So there's Big Boy, followed closely by a bunch of PLF soldiers. There's also a hero team on the left, another hero team on the right, and yet another one at the back. At first it just looks like your usual pincer move about to happen. But when Big Boy got stuck, nothing happened. Like I said before, everything behind Big Boy is suspiciously quiet. There's somehow no fighting going on at the back. Everyone's just chilling there. Moments later, Big Boy switched to gamer mode and ran off, leaving the PLF soldiers completely at the mercy of the heroes. Now this should just be an easy fight, as the MLA is canonically pathetic and weak. I mean, every time they appear on screen they are either getting steamrolled or being humiliated. But as we all know in the manga, these guys are still present in the finale. So what's going on here? Why aren't the heroes attacking the PLF? I dunno. I really don't f***ing know. Now you're probably wondering, what about the parade? Notice the sudden disappearance of the PLF idiots and the majority of the heroes. As for the PLF, since they are just following Big Boy anyways, they could have just gone down this path. But what about the heroes? Where the f*** did they go? Big Boy only defeated a few. What happened to the rest? The rest of the heroes paraded the villains down the mountain. They literally left their dying buddies to go parading with the villains down the mountain. That's it. You can tell this is 100% legit because there are no signs of struggle down Big Boy's path. And the UA kids look bamboozled as f***.
Okay, that's perfect, everybody. Bubble Bowl, here we come. Flag rollers, really spin those things. Okay, turn. Flag rollers, let's go. I want to see some spinning.
Yeah, I know it's a stupid joke. But hey, at least I sorta explained how the bad guys eventually reach the city and are still around in the finale. Overall, the war arc is okay. It's not bad, it's not good. There are some good points, there are some bad points. But one thing is certain, and that it's definitely far better than the cluster of a finale we are currently having. On a much more serious note, what stood out most to me is the strange way the heroes are ignoring the PLF troops. Hell, even the kids just did one half-assed attempt at fighting the League of Losers before just straight up almost ignoring them for the rest of the encounter. It's like the good guys just trimmed down the villains to manageable numbers and are now putting on a show, but with the full intention of just letting the remainders go eventually, so they have something to fight later on, to look good to the public.
Clever, comrade. What you see is prime fanfic fuel.
Now that I think of it, it does sound like fanfic material. Corrupt heroes preserving villains just so they have something to use to look good to the general public. You know what, I'm gonna make a fanfic.
Maybe the main character.
No deadline, I'm the main character.
No, I made a good main character.
No deadline, you're always the villain.
Little person is the main character.
You know what, I think you're right.
Let's start